What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast. We are hitting you with a spoiler recap, something we haven't done in a month or so. We had a break before that as well, but now we're getting into spoiler season because content creators are posting, FFG socials are posting, and they're throwing me off because they're doing leaders on Monday and Wednesday. It used to be Tuesday and Thursday. We've got some cards for you. So we're pretty much just going to jump right into it. I got Brian and Flock with me, as always, the trusty duo. And
hello.
Hello. Hi. We'll jump right in. First up, we got Wedge Antilles, leader of Red Squadron. He is a command heroism leader. He has an action, exhaust him. Play a card from your hand using piloting. It costs one less. He's a rebel and a pilot, and he's a common. His epic action is if you control 5 or more resources, you can deploy him as a leader, or you can deploy this leader as an upgrade on a friendly vehicle unit without a pilot on it. And then if he deploys as a unit, it's a 3/6. If he deploys as an upgrade, it's a 3/4. And if he deploys as an upgrade, it says attached unit is a leader unit. It gains on attack. The next pilot card you play this phase costs 1 less. I've been burned by green leaders offering a discount to a specific thing and then not panning out great. I do think his is a lot more wide as compared to like somebody like Dooku, who is separatist. I feel like, do we have pilots already, or do we just get pilots from this? I don't even remember if we have pilots already.
I think this is
I don't think we do. I think this is new. Yeah.
New trait.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it feels like a more common one as compared to like separatist, right? You could definitely sprinkle pilots in a little bit easier, but and also, yeah, I mean, it's just straight up just one less. So I mean, I like him. I think he's neat. I don't think he's anything crazy. We'll see the green villain leader that does something similar, but I think a lot better. But also a 3/6 on 5 as a rebel could be decent.
I just think his piloting thing's a smidge too slow on the pilot side, just because it's an on attack. In the same vein of you saying you've been burned on, like, I have a leader that makes this card cheaper. Like, if you attach him to something and then he gets blown up, then you're kind of a little sad about it.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish it was like
fine.
2 less on his flip
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, like a natural 2, always without stipulation.
But I feel like for him, you're gonna have like an entire deck of pilots, and like how many are gonna come out in this set? They're gonna be good enough to have in the deck. Is my question, and then it's gonna be okay. Future sets, they can easily splash in a pilot keyword, you know. So definitely could be a lot better later on when you can have a lot more diverse pilots.
But to be fair, they don't have a track record of supporting things.
Green.
That is very true.
So,
but I mean, keywords is easier. Keywords is easier though.
I was gonna say
than like
supporting Green Hero.
oh, that too. But I mean, maybe. But also, pilots are designed to like go onto ships, too. So, like every pilot we've gotten so far, is also.
But I feel like
Chewbacca,
I agree. But I feel like they could easily just have a leader out there, like a normal card, be traded as a pilot if you want to throw one in there, and then you get to play it for 1 less.
I mean, off the bat, you can play Chewbacca as a pilot for 2. So, because remember, it's not just a pilot; it's piloting.
Oh,
for his leader side, pilot on the flip side.
Oh, yep. Okay,
So piloting needs to be like smuggle, right?
You're right. That's a lot. Yep. You're right.
But I mean, Chewbacca for 2 sounds amazing, and we'll just and there's actually we already got a 1-cost yellow one, which we'll talk about in a minute. So there's like definitely some decent plays in there with it, but yeah, might be a little too narrow and not supported in the future, like smuggle, and probably coordinate and exploit. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, he seems fine. He seems okay, but yeah, like I've been saying, Green Hero has never been particularly too setting the world on fire. Let's just say.
It's also slightly annoying that the green heroes keep being like the tribal ones. Like Leia was rebel. This is piloting. Dooku was so all that stuff. But we can move
on. General Draven is a 5-cost ground unit doing what must be done. A single aspect green, 2/5 rebel official when played and on attack. Create an X-wing token.
Yeah.
It seems okay. He's very much like the the standard Yularen type. or Shakti, where it's the green with like the understated, where it just doesn't feel amazing. Even on like an ECL, why would you ever ECL this out? Yeah.
Yes, I understand if you ECL, you get 2 tokens out of it, but you're also ECLing a 2/5.
Into what? Your turn 1 play at resource turn 5? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not worth playing. It's very underwhelming. And doing what must be done, he's not doing anything.
We've seen. Yes, you get 4/7 stats by just playing him, but we've also seen that be like an issue of things seen play. Like Zori Bliss is like now just seen playing Han. I mean, 7 health is decent, but is good, but that's also on one thing. Like, tokens are not currently relevant at all in like any way, shape, or form in the current set 3 meta. So like maybe X-Wings and TIE Fighters are a little bit more, but it's just like same thing with like Rex deploy. It's so unexciting because then you just hit base with a 2 attack leader. Like sure you deployed with a 4/8 or 4/9 worth of stats because his +1 defense, but it's just not exciting.
Yep.
Green
Has the
Hero.
official tag?
I mean, it's not hero, so it doesn't really count. But
Official
like,
doesn't matter. Well, yeah.
you can play him in Palpatine, and
Oh,
then
sure. Yeah. I keep thinking he's hero. Yeah.
I keep thinking he's hero too because he's on the hero side.
Yeah.
You're making X-Wings with him. I don't know why he's the same thing with like he had immunity from last set. I don't understand some of these. I guess there's some.
This does seem like it's the scene where he says you need to kill.
Oh yeah.
Galen Ursa.
Yeah.
It's like Cassian just snipe him. So there's definitely some evilness.
He's doing what must be done.
Yep. Yeah. Not excited.
Yeah.
And it's rare.
Nope.
I don't know if you said that.
Yeah.
Cool. Tyler.
I hate you. All right, I want to say this wrong. You probably already said it before. Whatever. So we have Allegient, General Pride.
No
Yeah! Let's go!
I don't know how else you would pronounce that, but Ruthless and
Giant.
Loyal. A 2-cost aggression villainy. I hate you guys so much every time purposely. He's a 2/3 first order official, and when indirect damage is dealt to a unit, you may defeat a non-unique upgrade on it. Stop laughing. Jack muted himself so he can laugh.
I did. Well.
On
again,
attack.
This isn't on purpose. Oh.
On attack, if you have the initiative, deal 2 indirect damage to a player. Yeah.
I mean, what's he?
You guys missed all of that.
I gotta read him again because I don't.
Yeah, he's a 2/3, and when indirect damage is dealt to a unit, you may defeat a non-unique upgrade on it. On attack, if you have the initiative, deal 2 indirect damage.
I love you, Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah, 2/3 is pretty good stats for a 2 cost, and then with the indirect damage, we don't know how it's going to be yet, but I think indirect damage is going to be pretty good. But the fact that this can just defeat upgrades is going to be awesome. I know the opponent chooses to defeat where the indirect damage goes, but you can obviously point it in the right direction if there's only 1 unit on the board. So yeah. The only thing is question when I'm reading this is piloting. Are they an upgrade?
It says non-unique upgrade, so.
Okay, so never mind. Then we're good then. I just want to make sure. Like that'd be
there could
broken
be a
if they can. Yeah, that'd be broken if they can defeat an upgrade or defeat a pilot.
I mean, they could.
Yeah.
They could defeat a non. Pilot, but like they couldn't defeat Chewbacca or Wedge.
Right? But if you start off the game with this as your first play because you're going first, then your next attack you can literally open up attack and you can trade up whatever attack base and deal 2 damage to a unit. That's pretty good. 2 to base, 2 to unit. I think it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and if they don't want to put it on a unit because it has a shield or something like that, and they don't want to lose a shield, then it's like you're just doing 4 to base.
Yep.
You played a 4/3 turn 1.
Yep, I think it's great. Official.
He's got the official.
Got the official. Yep.
He does.
And good card. Good
I
card.
think that matters
Rare.
on 2 and 3 drops more because the Royal Guard's a 3-drop.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Palpatine's never going away.
I like him.
Allegient.
Amazing.
Ali. Like Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
Allegient.
Mm-hmm.
No. How do you pronounce it?
Allegiant.
Allegiant. Oh, that's Allegiant? Oh my god.
Shrewd, I'm we.
That
That's
no, that is
Allegient.
worse because True Nine We at least is like a fake like Star Wars type name.
Oh
Allegiant
my
is just
gosh.
A word.
it's
An actual
basic
word.
English. Oh,
Allegiant. I've
Allegient.
never seen that word. Like I don't think I've ever read that word before.
You don't
Whatever.
read much.
Next one. I don't read.
Next one, 2-cost ground unit, Cunning Heroism, Anakin Skywalker. I'll try spinning. 2 attack, 3 health. Also has piloting for Cunning and Heroism for 2. And says when attached, unit completes an attack and survives, you may return this upgrade to its owner's hand. And if it's a pilot upgrade, it's also a 2/3, and it is a Force Fringe pilot. One of the better Force. Like, even just if you have to straight out play it as a 2/3, it's one of the better Force units, I feel like, in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, like, the flexibility of, like, late game, him being able to, like, pop around on ships and stuff, I think is very interesting.
This is going to go in my Obi-Wan yellow deck with my Padawan Starfighter.
Yeah, sure. Then what is that? Is that a
He's a 4...
4/6?
4/6.
Because it's a 1/2, and then
Yep.
it's a 2/3 if there's a Force, and then it's good. Yeah.
Yeesh.
Super
Going
good.
crazy.
Super good. You play
Yeah.
him with it's really good.
Yep.
That's a good card.
I like him though. Legitimately, he's a good card. Really.
Yep. All right.
It's a trap. We have Admiral Abbar as our yellow Cunning Hero leader. That was redundant. Action is you spend 1 exhausted on leader unit. If you do, his controller creates an X-Wing token. He flips on 6, becomes a 3/8 unit. And then on attack, he may exhaust the unit. If you do, his controller creates an X-Wing token. My initial response to him was underwhelming. But there were a few cards that came out that I was like, okay, all right, he might be neat. I think he'd be really fun and limited. I don't think he's going to be a competitive leader, a premier leader per se. But he does seem fun. I like Akbar as a character. And I'd give him a spin, but not super hype on him.
Yeah. I know you can exhaust yourself to give yourself an X-Wing token, but that also just kind of feels weird. But, I mean,
Slowing yourself down.
I mean, straight up, just having, like, a pay 1 exhaust something on a leader side is very, like, that's a powerful ability. I mean, I know you're giving him a 2/2 and stuff, but Yellow Hero also has access to, like, clear the field and some things like that as well. So it's, like, interesting, but, yeah, I'm not writing home about him. Deploying at 6 is like a 3/8 is weird, too.
I'm going to suit him up. I'm going to Voltron Akbar. I'm going to give him... I'm
not sure if that's quite the answer.
Nah. I think he's whatever. Nothing more to say about him, really.
Cool. Tyler?
I'm up.
Easy one for you, Tyler.
All right, I can read this one. Blade Squadron Bwing. It's a 3-cost Cunning Heroism card, space unit, a 3/3 Rebel Vehicle Fighter, and 1 played. If another player controls 3 or more exhausted units, give a shield token to a unit. Initial thoughts, I like it, just because 3/3, fine stats for space, it's got good keywords. And then the shield token. Obviously, when you're playing this on turn 2, you're not going to get its ability off. It's 1 played, but I definitely see like this could be a very good like mid-range space unit to drop down to give a shield to a unit, so you can give it to your leader. There's no other stipulations of like has to be like a rebel or something like that. So I can see this being a decent like middle of the game shield something up that you want to shield up.
I kind of hate it on the flip side. I don't love it. I think I don't know. Yeah, it feels like it's starting to become more liable to have a 3 health 3 drop in space because there's so many 2 drops that do 3 attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a lot of 3 drops that have 4 health, like the OG Falcon, the new Falcon, the Punishing one. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to get traded out pretty easy with its when played not happening too often.
Yeah.
I have been spoiled by FFG giving us several really, really good 3-cost 3/5s, and I really never want to play into the 3/3/3 again.
Well, there's no
So
3/5s in space, but there's definitely plenty
Yeah.
of 3/4s. So it's like similar vibe.
Like-
yeah, so why play this?
I mean, like there's arguments for good. Like you still play Red 3, right? That's a 2/3 with Raid 1, but it buffs everything to give it Raid 1 for heroism. There's definitely like some value in it, but
Could be getting Twin Suns. Just have one other opponent that has 3 exhausted units.
yeah,
But
sure,
Be a Twin Suns card.
that's fine.
sure.
It's-
Or you,
it's-
or you just play a good card.
Hey, when you got to make 100 singleton deck, you might
80.
slab this in there. Well, it's going to be 100 soon.
80. It's 50 now. It's gonna.
Oh,
be
it's 50.
80
I thought it was going to be 100. Oh, never mind. Whatever. 80. Whatever.
That's my 81st card. Sorry, it's getting cut.
Yes, 81st card. Sideboard it.
Yeah. On to the next one. It's a trap. 3-cost event, Cunning Heroism. It's a gambit. If an opponent controls more space units than you, ready each space unit you control, and it's a rare. And this is the artwork that we saw on the Game Genic sleeves, which I love. I like this. I mean, this is definitely a card that makes me want to play Akbar. Like, I like this a lot. If you can play like one bigger thing and then do this, and they have some small ones.
Pretty situational.
I mean, but it's not like as situational with Akbar. Like it's probably always going to happen.
Yeah.
Like
But then I have to play Akbar.
Just don't play space units. I mean, just once you got to exhaust one of their units, give them an X-wing, and then you're good to go. Literally once.
if they have one space unit and you have one,
Yeah.
you exhaust it. Now they have 2. And you
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
You're spending what? Is that 4 resources for that?
Yeah.
yeah, that's 4. But if you have like a big thing, like if you have,
Yeah.
we'll get to the home
Yeah.
one later. Like if you ready a 7/8, you're going to be very, very,
Yeah.
very happy.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I don't think this is like going to take over the meta, but this is definitely a card as we get more and more cards coming out. I think you want to look at anything that like ready stuff can be just nasty
For sure.
because you can ready anything. It's not like what's that keep fighting one where it's like 3 power,
Yeah.
Mhm.
something like that.
There's Bravado, too. The Bravado exists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but it's
each
super
space you
rich.
can control too. So if it's like 4/3,
Yep.
crazy.
Babe, wake up. New Devastator unit dropped. Devastator! An 8-cost space unit, aggression, ability. Hunting the Rebellion is a 9/6. Nice, but backwards. Imperial Vehicle Capital Ship. You assign all indirect damage you deal to opponents. When played, deal 4 indirect damage to each opponent. This is definitely interesting. The 9/6 stats is it hurts my brain a little bit. But the 4 indirect is pretty neat. I'm gonna play it with Piet.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I like this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You play it, you could just deal
Mhm.
4 right to base too as well.
Love the art.
You pick it. Yeah,
Love the art.
yeah. There's definitely like I'm trying to think of like the order of like Pia could go like Devastator into Relentless into Devastator for 7, 8, and then 9.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this. This is a legendary too. I think this is a good legendary.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good
This is
card.
already better than most of the legendaries we saw in set 3.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also not like crazy overcosted like the Finalizer, which was like 11 or 12 or whatever. Right, 8 is definitely in the realm of being played.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I dig it.
Cool.
It's very cool.
Flock.
All right, and this one pairs very well with the last one we just did. So we have Planetary Bombardment, an event. It's a 6-cost aggression tactic, legendary. Deal 8 indirect damage to a player. If you control a capital ship, deal 12 indirect damage instead. Yeah, this is a very good card, especially with the Devastator. Since you can assign the indirect, you can just assign all 12 to the base, whatever you want to do. That's fantastic. Even so, 8 indirect damage for 6 without a capital ship, I still sounds very good, especially if you're playing a control deck already. Obviously, if you're playing like like the high cost space events, you're probably playing a control deck. You can hopefully maybe get them to have like 1, maybe 2 units out. So 8 damage could easily wipe out a board for only 6 resources. So I like this even for just 8 indirect damage. On top of that, if you have a capital ship,
if you play like Devastator into Planetary and Bombardment back to back,
yeah,
you're cooked.
Yeah.
Well, you can go smaller than that. You can go the 5-drop Corvette for heroism,
Yeah.
and then play this on 6 if they don't kill it.
Yeah.
So it's like turn 5, you could already rip this off. You could play
Planetary
this on
Bombardment just seems like a very strong card.
Yeah, and looking like there's some funny ones in there, right? The Outlaw Corona, that's technically one, but also like the Pelta Supply Frigate is one as well. So it's like some of these cheaper ones that you can definitely get out and have, and then on top of that, you've got like Avenger, Devastator, Home One, Ruthless Raiders, Capital Ship, like even Gladiator, Star Destroyer, like, and then especially with Piet that we'll see in a moment of him being able to play capital ships for cheaper. Like he'd be able to play the Gladiator, Star Destroyer for 4 as a 5/6 on space, or for 5/6 on space, and then 6 resources. Drop this, which is nasty. Very, very nasty.
Yeah, super exciting.
Cool. Yeah, these 2 legendaries, I'm already very
those
excited.
back to back.
Yeah. All right, next one is me. 1 cost, ground unit, just cunning, independent smuggler. He's a 1/1 with raid 1, and he can be played as a pilot for 1 resource with the cunning aspect. An attached unit gains raid 1, and then he would give a +1/+1 to it. And underworld pilot, he's a common. Like he's like fine. I think he'll shine in draft and sealed. I think he'll be really great there. But it's also like decks with Wedge, like playing this for free on something, I think could be pretty good.
If you're keeping score at home, this has 9 1s on this card, if you're wondering.
Yeah. It depends. If it's hyperspace, it won't, but yeah.
9 1s. That's crazy. That's all I have to say about the card. It's fine. I don't really care.
Yeah, I want this to be in my CAD deck, my CAD Bane deck.
It's Underworld.
It's an Underworld.
Yeah, but you probably need to start hedging more space.
More space. I don't have much space, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seems fine. Not blowing off the world, but this just seems like a solid 1-drop if you're going into a pilot. As we've seen some insane broken ones. Like Chewie, seen him be really cool already. Maybe not broken, but obviously very, very good. And then this is just like more middle of the road type thing. That'll be just nice to have in the back pocket if you need.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Admiral P.
As we've been talking about.
My obsession so far this set. Admiral P. Commanding the Armada is the command villainy leader. Action exhaust, play a capital ship unit from your hand. It costs 1 less. He flips on 5 to a 2/7. He's an Imperial official, and each capital unit you play costs 2 less. So I'm just going to give everyone at home a quick recap of what the units are capital ships right now. We got Avenger, Redemption, Gladiator, Star Destroyer, Relentless, Devastator, Home One, Ruthless Raider, Chimera, Finalizer, Outlaw Corona, Architect's Assault Cruiser, Gideon's Light Cruiser, Providence Destroyer, Malevolence, Pelta, Supply Frigate, Republic Defense Carrier, Senatorial Corvette, Resolute, Invisible Hand, Tranquility Fleet, Interdictor, Resupply Carrier, Devastator, Home One. That's a lot of stuff you can play with him. And I
take
think
out all the heroes, Brian. And we're not starting with these heroes.
No. You can. Don't. I am a free spirit. All right. Don't harsh my vibe. You definitely can, and then you just don't pay the aspect penalty. It's easy.
Well, you will have to probably pay 1.
Fine.
Piet deploys, bro. That guy's getting sniped. If he stays out, there's no shot.
Look at this art. He's as strong as an ox.
Yeah.
It is 7 health, 5. That's definitely staying that. You're probably not killing it.
He's gonna get ECL record like immediately. By the way. No, but I think he'd be fun. There are a lot of fun things you can do with him, and we've only seen a fraction of the set so far. So, I mean, I'm hoping there's a couple more capital ships that you can employ, to make him better. But realistically speaking, he's probably just fine. But I'm excited to play with him quite a bit. I think that's like a fun combo deck that you can mess around with. Probably not setting the world on fire. I mean, unless he does stay out for a long time and the capital ships are really strong. So, who knows?
I don't know, man. I think he's gonna be pretty good. Of the leaders we've seen so far, I'm not fully processed of all the ones that we've had spoiled, but he might be the best one that we've had spoiled so far, in my opinion. I think that ability is very, very good.
That's strong.
It is. Yeah, it definitely is.
And then
I gravitate towards bad leaders though, so I just assumed he wasn't gonna be good, you know.
And I mean, and green has some nasty ones. Like even just before you go to a different color, like you said, you have Gladiator, Star Destroyer, Relentless Devastator. There's some neutral ones in there that I don't really care about, but then the Resupply Carrier. Like those 4 right there sound amazing. Yeah, Finalizer, Outlaw Corona, and the Architens.
Well, the Outlaw Corona, I mean, coming in is neat. What is that? What's the stats of that again? It's like
3/5. Yeah, I mean, you could play 3/5 in space turn 1, but the issue is like its bounty is so punishing of letting your opponent ramp that I just don't think it's worth the risk of playing a 3/5.
That's the difference between you and me, Bucko.
Yeah, you'll play that turn 1, and then I'll power the dark side to you and ramp. I don't even have to play my resupply. I'll just kill your Outlaw Corona. Yeah.
I mean, Architens on the next flip turn would be neat. That's fun. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like you could go like just crazy ramps with like Resupply Carrier and the Architens. The only reason I didn't include the Architens is just because I'm like, totally not sure. I mean, right? Yes, there'll be potentially more space units and stuff going on, so more options for it to ambush into and kill. Obviously, won't work with tokens, right? If you ambush and kill a token, that doesn't become a resource for you. But yeah, I think there's, and then it's like that, and that's even before we're talking about going into red and getting Ruthless Raider or Devastator. Yeah, before we even go into blue and get the new Sentinel one or I don't even know where that's at. The Avenger, like Malevolence, Providence Destroyer. I don't know if those two make the cut, but it's like there's a lot of options for him. He is very interesting, and yes, specific cards that call to this have not worked out well, like Nalase, Hera, but I think that these cards are just such like win conditions. Like you could play like a few clones out of Aspect, and yes, you probably could win on like an ECL Wrecker potentially, but also like playing the original Blue Avenger for 7 is probably a game winner. Like there's some insane plays with this, whereas the other ones are just more about value, whereas this could just like slam the door shut.
And then also think about yellow with Triple Dark Raid. That's a possibility as well. I mean, you could definitely do something crazy there.
I feel like you have, in my mind, I have to start red because of Planetary Bombardment coming out.
Yeah, Devastator.
So it's
Ruthless alone is massive.
Yeah, I mean, you could play Ruthless Raider for 5, right? You don't even need to flip them. You play that for 5, and then next turn you Planetary Bombardment.
Yeah,
it's pretty nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm very excited for Piet though. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's my showcase chase.
Isn't that just every leader?
Yeah, but you need to start with smart goals, Jack.
True.
Just rush in like a fool.
Yeah, you need more Carbonite boxes. That's a smart goal, right?
True. All right, who read? Brian, you read that one?
I did.
Next, and thank you for pronouncing this for me because I did not know how to do it. So the next one is a Fleet Interdictor, space unit. Yeah, I would have repeated it. Space unit, 7 cost, vigilance, villainy, a 6/6 Imperial vehicle capital ship with Sentinel, and when defeated, you may defeat a space unit that costs 3 or less. Yeah, this is pretty good. For 7, 6/6 Sentinel, not amazing, but like if we're worried about space units, being able to defeat another space unit 3 or less could be very good. So not fantastic, but if it's a meta where it's space units, then I see this going in there pretty well, especially with Piet, cost 6 or even 5.
Yeah. I mean, if you deploy Piet and then play this, that's eating.
Yeah.
It's going to eat a fire spray attack and still live.
Yep.
And kill the fire spray. Yeah, this definitely feels like one of the cards that almost is like balanced around Piet, where it's like playing this at 7 for 6/6 Sentinel feels a little rough, but
Yep.
Playing it at 5.
But yeah, playing at 5 for 6/6.
Yeah. I can even see you play this card with like what's the card? Sneak attack too, potentially if you need to, because if you want to stop space, sneak attack, and then it gets defeated, and then you can kill something else. A little spice. I don't know.
Maybe
in a pinch. But how many times are you playing blue yellow? I'm just throwing some stuff out there.
Yeah.
Is that still costing 7 though? Or is sneak attack 5?
Sneak attack is 2 less.
No, it's 3 less. You pay 2.
3 less. Yeah, you pay 2.
The event is 2. The unit costs 3 less.
Yeah.
So this would cost 6.
6.
So it costs 6. But 6 for 6/6 Sentinel for that entire phase, and then defeat. You can kill something in space. That costs 3 or less.
I just wasn't sure of the math on that. If that ended up being worth or not.
Okay. On the next one, we've got another. This is me, right? Yeah, Cassian Andor. 3 cost ground unit, vigilance, heroism, threading the eye. He has 3 attack, 4 health as a ground unit, and then he can be played as a pilot for 2 for vigilance and heroism. And then while he's a pilot, attached unit gains on attack. Discard a card from the defending player's deck. If that card costs 3 or less, draw a card. And he's a rebel and a pilot, and he's a rare. And as an upgrade, he is +1 attack, +3 health. I like him a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's just no immediate downside coming to mind. But like 3 for 3/4, we've seen that be pushed out of the meta unless it has like a good ability, like something like Fighters for Freedom, where it has like Saboteur and the pings and stuff. But like we've seen, like Ahsoka doesn't get played at all. You know, Ezra barely gets played, but he has such an insane ability that to give card advantage that it's kind of worth it. So he almost feels like an exclusive pilot. The discarding cards and potentially drawing sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me want Satine to work.
I say Mill's coming. We got Vigilance, we got Cassian, we got Satine.
Every day we stray farther away from the core mechanic.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He's a big W.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Resupply Carrier is a 6-cost space unit, single aspect command. 4/5 Imperial vehicle, capital ship. When played, you may put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. Command gets yet another ramp card, which is great with P. So I like this one a lot for sure, because the stats even on it are pretty decent for what you're getting. 4/5 in space for a ramp.
Yeah.
Plus, you're the way I'm looking at it, for playing with Piet, you're not even paying the full cost. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 4/5 is like pretty rough, but it's like the fact that it ramps, so you can definitely look past that. Like think of just the other like 6 costs potentially of like Raider, or like Fire Spray or things like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like even with like Tarkin, this could be buffed because it's Imperial.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the idea of the Triple Dark Raid, because then you can play it again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like it bounces back to your
hand. Because it's not going into the Planetary. Oh my gosh, that's good.
Yep.
Sure is. I'm really excited for how you say this next one.
Oh yeah.
You're up, Flock.
Ready for it? It's like croissant.
My croissant. My croissant.
My croissant.
You made me drop my croissant.
Croissant TIE Carrier. Is that did I say that right?
No.
Oh, really? Didn't? It's not Quasar? Quasar? I like Quasar.
Drop my croissant.
Drop my croissant. TIE Carrier is a 6-cost
giant.
villainy space unit, a 5/7 Imperial vehicle capital ship. On attack, create a TIE fighter token. Yeah, seems pretty decent. 6, 5, 7, and then on attack, you get to create TIE fighters tokens. I like it.
This reminds me of the ATSD.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw the ATSD played?
Yeah, it just feels slow.
I mean, yeah, it's slow, but creating TIE fighters.
Great and limited.
But what does that
ECL,
do? I don't know.
ECL it in. Let's go.
You know what?
Let's freaking go, dude. ECL it.
For that. I'm not saying this is like garbage tier, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm not
I don't think
crazy
the
enough.
yes is garbage tier, but no one plays it.
But it's also like we think of all the like 5 and 6 cost capital ships that we've already talked about. It's just like, does this make the cut? There's only so many you can play.
I think the other thing about, and I think we've discussed this before, but like 6 costs, I feel like they need to have an immediate impact when played.
Yeah.
And there are so many better 6 costs that have an immediate impact when played.
Yeah.
That why would you play this? And it's a common. It's probably a draft card, a limited card, whatever. Like, you're probably not thinking like, oh,
the common single aspects.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's a fine card. It's probably not going to see a lot of premiere.
Now, if we get a leader that is like cares about the amount of like tokens, or specifically like TIE fighter tokens, then you can reevaluate this card. But like for me right now, I'm just like, I don't know. Like if I'm P at red, I'm just playing Ruthless Raider and the Resupply Carrier as my 6-drop capital ships. Like there's only so many capital ships that I can include in my deck before I just like don't have any early game.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Me. We got a 5-cost space unit, the Banshee. Vigilance, Villainy, Crippling Command is the title. This is Asajj's space, but her image is as her as a bounty hunter, but this is her while she's still a separatist, which is interesting. So 4 attack, 5 health, separatist vehicle fighter. On attack, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the amount of damage on this unit. Uncommon. I think I even said this in like our group chat when this was like spoiled. I feel like the 5 cost from set 3 is probably just better. The devastating gunship, like that's got, like we just talked about, an immediate impact. It does have separatists though, so Dooku can play this for 3. It just feels like a potentially a little slow, but I do love that you can deal damage to any unit, right? It's not just space unit. And it synergizes with Asajj, right? Because she deals damage to friendly units to ping damages across. So it's interesting, but I don't know.
I wonder.
I don't think it's bad. I just think it might be hard to fit this into a deck.
Because we have there's something in set 1 that was a vehicle upgrade, right? We have like smuggling compartment. We have, was that hardpoint heavy blaster or something?
Yeah,
that's
like
pretty...
I wonder if you loaded this up with something, it might become a little bit better if you're playing it with Dooku out on 3 and you kind of load it up. But like it just seems like like you said, it seems like a lot of work to make it decent when you've got devastating gunship readily available that has grit and can finish something off.
Yeah. Aside, I don't know if anybody just saw my wife trying to avoid the camera, but it did not work at all.
Is that her? Oh my gosh!
You can see her crawling right. That was amazing.
Yeah, you're still there. You can still see her. Oh, that's so great.
But to me, this is super interesting with Asajj though, because Asajj gives it grit. So it's like if you're dealing damage to this, and then you could deploy Asajj onto it as a 3/4. So it's a 7/9 with grit. Seems pretty good. I worry about putting regular upgrades on, non-leader space units still.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So the Banshee.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. Good card. Just 5 slot. I think is going to be a little competitive, especially because the other good cards in the same color.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, the 4th set, we're starting to get competitive as far as what slots are pretty much spoken for at this point. So
yep,
it's gonna be tough.
Cool.
Red Leader Form Up is a 4-cost space unit command heroism. It's a 3/4 rebel vehicle fighter. This unit costs 1 less to play for each friendly pilot unit and upgrade. When a pilot upgrade attaches to this unit, create an X-Wing token. There's a lot going on here. And I feel like, if you can get this out for free, amazing. Really good. But how often that's going to happen? I mean, even at a discount, this does plenty. You start suiting it up, it does a lot. So, I mean, this could be good. I'm definitely intrigued by it. I would have to see how easy it is to beat all these criteria, but something to look at down the road at the end of the set. I really don't know currently where I stand on this. I'm definitely intrigued though.
Yeah, I feel like you got to get it down to 3 for a 3/4 in space. If you're paying 4 for it, it feels a little worse. Interested with
But,
this with
like,
Anakin, right? Being able to balance it and have multiple times to play like a pilot upgrade on something could be interesting.
but if you can get this out late game for nothing, that's really neat.
Yeah,
You can
that
get
most
the late
definitely.
game for free. So
And now it's a target. Like think about if you play this for 1 even, right?
Mhm.
And then you play like that 1 cost pilot onto it, and now you make an X-wing token. Like the amount of value you just got
yeah,
is pretty
massive.
good.
But again, that's a lot of ifs. So
Yeah. I mean, on a flip turn, this probably could work, right? With your leader coming out as a pilot upgrade,
right.
or even
Mhm.
deploying as a unit, a pilot unit. There's some. That's probably the best chance you'll get to do that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even if it costs 1 less, a 3 cost 3/4 is not bad.
Yeah, that could potentially make another
Exactly. Yeah.
X-Men. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
All right, and on to our last one.
All
Take us
right.
home.
We have Home One. Glad I got that pronunciation right. Home One is a space unit, cunning, heroism, on my mark, a 7/8 rebel vehicle capital ship, and if an opponent controls 3 or more space units, this unit costs 3 less to play, and also has ambush, and it's a legendary. I like this a lot. Heroism's finally getting like a high cost past eight, you know, space unit big bomb that goes in there and has immediate damage with the ambush. So I like that. It can also be cheaper, especially for playing like Akbar. You're giving them some space units. This comes out a lot quicker, cheaper, and all that stuff. So I kind of dig it.
I hate it at 9, but I think I really like it at 6.
Yeah.
Because if you play it at 9, it's just like it still just gets blown out by like other 8 cost and above ships. I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this at 6 would be wild.
Yep.
Just blow up a fire spray or a ruthless raider or any of these other 6 drops that we were talking about. The resupply carrier, even you still, even though the resupply carrier is not crazy stats, you still want to leave a 4 or 5 in space type thing. But I mean, yeah. So like we talked about earlier, like it's a trap with Akbar. Like imagine ambushing this in and then like next turn you're able to attack base with it and then ready it because they have
Yeah.
more stuff. Like because you just keep giving them tokens and then they can't actually tempo you out because you're exhausting their stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's interesting to think about at least.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts on it, and I don't know how to articulate.
I mean, it's hard. We're 31
kind of-
cards.
Yeah, I'm kind
Yeah.
of middle of the road on this card as of right now. Like I understand its upside,
Yeah.
but I also see its downside. And I don't know. And I guess it really depends on if this set has enough to make space like relevant going forward, or if it's just a fad for this set.
Like I almost don't want to take into account tokens because how irrelevant they've been from set 3.
Yeah,
Like yeah, if
and I
tokens
think
are
that's-
around and there's a bunch of space TIE fighters and X-wings flying around, yeah, most definitely. But
Yeah.
set 3 it didn't really pan out that way.
I'm cautiously optimistic about the card. That's where I'm gonna leave it. But currently, middle of the road.
I'm worried it falls into like the Ahsoka like just weird like
Mhm.
Yeah, I loved Ahsoka, and I thought Ahsoka was like top tier.
she could have been a 3/5, man. Like she should have just been a 3/5.
She should have been a 3/5 with constant ambush.
I mean, all right, maybe
Yep.
not that. Maybe I
No,
don't go that
constant
far.
ambush,
I
constant
3/5 with
ambush.
conditional ambush sounds good
Because
to me.
she's basically got blank text on her too. Like she never gets the ambush off. You're never returning her to her hand for 2
Yeah, I mean
with her
yeah.
with her upgrade. Like
Mhm.
she just
3,
she's
4,
very
just-
disappointing.
she's so bad that people would rather just play like Han just plays liberated slaves, and because
Yeah.
it's a 3/5 compared. But anyways, that's another
So
topic for another day.
So that's the line of thinking I have right now, where I can see this being decent, but I just don't. I've been burned by yellow hero upgrades yellow hero units last set, so I'm just reserving my judgment.
Yeah.
I guess. Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, we've gotten 3 legendaries. Question mark. Devastator home 1, and then the Planetary Bombardment.
Planetary Bombardment. Yeah, that sounds correct.
It's my least favorite of the 3.
Yeah.
By like probably by a good step. Like I think I
Yeah.
really like Devastator, and I think I really like Planetary Bombardment, and I think I don't really like like I think it could be fine, but it's going to be dependent on how like the game actually plays out.
Well, I mean, even those other 2, I see more upside than down.
Yeah.
I also
Paying
see
6 to
those
do
as,
12 indirect or whatever it was is going to be
massive.
probably easier to get off than ambush because they have 3 space units.
I hate to do
Or
it. I hate
cost 3
to
less.
agree with Tyler, but like even 6 for 8, 8 for 6 is decent. You know.
Oh, for back to Planetary Bombardment. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Cool. All right. Well, we're all caught up. This will probably be posted on like a Monday, so we'll miss Fridays. But yeah, we're all caught up. It's excited to talk about new cards. All of these cards are very exciting. The 31 cards that we've seen so far. I feel like they've actually started out with like just a lot of hits so far. Like
fire.
Like some really interesting leaders. Like even though Akbar like is probably like you could say is like our least favorite, just some of these cards that we've seen synergies with him just makes it interesting to think about. And then you just have like the raw power of Piet too. So it's like both ends. It's interesting. So
Yeah.
But yeah,
For sure.
Awesome. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody watching us. If they keep turning out this fast, we'll guess have weekly spoiler recap videos, or at least every other week. So follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, your favorite podcast place, and we'll catch y'all next time. Deuces.